Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NCW, also known as New Comic Wednesday. If you haven't been with us before, we chat for a few minutes every Wednesday about Zenescope's newest releases. If you don't know who I am your NCW host, Amber. Sorry, Casey trips me up, and she's used my favorite emoji today, the birthday emoji, the anniversary emoji, because it's 1 year today. Actually, it's 1 year tomorrow, I think. 1 year tomorrow, but really today, that we celebrated an entire year of NCW. 1 year ago today, we all met and we talked about Zenescope's newest releases. And I remember there were 3. We talked about Van Helsing, Beast of Exmoor. We had Brian Hawkins on. We talked, I can't remember the other release, but I know the first release was actually Courier number 3. And we had Ralph on, and he could only be on for like 10 minutes, and he was like rushing Chris Slamson and I off. It was like really funny. So if you guys have the opportunity, head back and go back and watch the past NCWs, especially the first one, because you'll see how newbie we were at this. You know, we were total noobs, and it was a new time. Anyway, yay! Anyway, so again, today, this is the 1 year anniversary of NCW, also known as New Comic Wednesday. I'm your host, Amber. And if you want to find Zenescope's newest releases, you will head to zenescope.com. You will press new releases, and then it will show you everything from back to front that has been released. On top of that, you can also find our newest releases at your local comic shop. And if they don't carry Zenescope, make sure you tell them to carry Zenescope. So then you can head there every Wednesday. On top of that, you can also find our new releases on Comixology. And to make sure that you never miss a new release, head and press that lovely subscribe notification bell so you can get all of the NCW content you want every Wednesday. You can get all of the Coffee with Casey and Noah at 1 p.m. You can be around for all of the VCons, like one thing after another thing. So make sure that you subscribe. And as always, make sure that you share these videos, you like, you react, you comment, because then other people can find out about Zenescope's newest releases. So today we're talking about 2 releases. However, one of them we technically already spoke about. And because it is the anniversary of NCW, Aaron, no, I was reading this comment. I have not read all of the Courier yet. So that is on my list to do. I did read all of Liberty and Death, but I didn't read the OG Courier. I'm adding that to my checklist now. But because this is the anniversary, I will have a couple of special guests. And the first special guest I'll have on is the lovely producer of NCW. She's smiling at me in the background. I'm about to bring you on, so don't act surprised. Here she is.
Hi, everyone.
So Casey, as you all know, is the producer of NCW. She's on my backstage. She also has a lovely show at 1 p.m. called Coffee with Casey and some other guy. I don't remember who the other person is.
My colleague, I guess.
But to celebrate, Casey, what has been your fondest memories of NCW?
It's a good question. There was one time where there was a really weird comment from someone we never knew, and both you and I made a face on and off camera at the exact same time.
Interesting.
That was probably the weirdest memory, but I think maybe my fondest memory, probably the times when Jenna Lynn Wright or Pat Shan, they're some of my favorites.
Wow. Ralph is listening in the background. He's like, I guess I'm not Casey's favorite guest. That's cool.
Canceled. No, it's just the Noah show now.
So I'm going to leave you on for a little bit as we dive and talk about today's releases. And I will bring on our other special guest, who I see is muted in the backstage. So get ready, Dave, because we're going to go through the covers together for the anniversary of NCW, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I could exit.
Okay, you could just run offline. Don't do that, though. This is a live recording in front of a studio audience.
Casey. I see Pat and Jen are more important. That's fine. Whatever.
Casey, we'll start off. We'll start off with Myth and Legends Jack and Jill. Will you pop up those covers for us? Here is cover A.
Al Barrio Nuevo and Ula Moss.
How do you feel about this cover, Dave?
It's a lovely cover.
A lovely cover. Interesting. Okay. Here is cover B.
It's that Igor Vitorino and Gross Dieta, I believe.
How do you feel about this cover, Dave?
Beautiful.
Here is cover C.
And Michael D. Pascal and Sanju Nivengoon.
How do you feel about this cover, Dave?
Wonderful. No, they're all. I mean, they're all great, and the thing is, they all have their own purpose. So it's I can never really judge it because it depends on like what are they meant for. But I mean, yeah, I love them all. What is your favorite?
I don't know. I really like cover C's color usage a lot. Like I like that it's like this dark tone, this like dark blue and black and blue, and then this just like gold in the background. So that would probably be my pick just because I really like the color usage in this cover.
Cool. No.
What do you think, Casey?
Cover C.
Cover
100%. I'm a simple woman. I know what I like.
Yeah, that was quick.
So I'm going to read the synopsis and then we will dive in. I only have one question for Dave. The reason as to why is because we had Jenna Lynn Wright on last Wednesday, where she actually talked about Jack and Jill. She wasn't able to join us today. So she gave us a lot of insight on actually writing the story. So if you want to go back to last week's NCW, you can get many answers to today's first release, Myth and Legends, Jack and Jill. So without further ado, here is the synopsis. Infamy can take your name to larger than life heights, and no one knows this better than Jack the Giant Killer. With the path of vengeance carved through a life he once knew, it has led him on a course of great evil. Those in his wake have felt his pain 1,000-fold, but from the ashes of the world he burned and left far behind him, a new hero will rise. Don't miss this epic story set to rock the very foundations. Oh my God, that's funny. Foundation, rock. Okay. Of the Grimm universe. Great job, Dave.
And then was it larger than life heights for the giant killer?
You wrote that, right?
I did.
So the only question we have about this, unless Casey has a question. Casey, do you have any dying questions about Jack and Jill?
Not right now.
Here's the only question I have, which Jenna brought up. And it's technically not about this week's. It's about Jack and Jill, but it's about another release coming, which is Belle, War of Giants. Is there any connection between the two stories?
You mean the one we just got in?
Yes, the one we just got in that releases next Wednesday?
Yes, there is a connection. There's a big connection.
Are there giants in both stories?
There's some giant killers. There's some Jills. So yeah, basically this story, the Jack and Jill story, kind of was introducing our fans and our universe to Jill. Jack and the Limbo Queen have been, I don't know, 12 years ago is when we introduced them. So we were kind of just bringing them back into the universe because they're still out there. People die. They're still limbo. And now we're getting Jill's story. And then we kind of get a few answers and a few like problems solved in the Belle War of the Giants story that continues off of what happened in Jack and Jill. And then
there's a connection.
There's a big connection.
There's a big connection. So again, today's first release is Myth and Legends, Jack and Jill. As always, there are a few things that you need to know about Myth and Legends. The first thing that you need to know about Myth and Legends is that it comes out on a quarterly basis, and it always has a story that's based on a myth or a legend. And that's the beginning synopsis. But we actually have already met Jack before. What was Jack's first storyline, Dave?
It was like Grimm. I forget the issue number, but it was in the main Grimm Fairy Tales Volume 1, and you get introduced to basically his family's killed by giants, like these like basically raging giants, and he makes a deal with the Dark One, who was the villain at the time, like the main villain of the Grimm universe, to get this power, like almost the strength to kill them. And to avenge his family, he starts going on a war path of killing all the giants. And then with Jack and Jill, we see where that war path kind of ends and where it leads up to the future. I don't want to spoil that book because people were just getting that today, so I don't want to spoil any of that.
So if you dive into the vault and Jenna talked about it a little bit. We asked her a couple of questions like, oh, what kind of preparation? What did she have to read? And then she gave us a little bit of backstory on Jack. And she might have named the issue, but I think she was maybe unsure too.
It was a Grimm fairy tale. I think it was like 67. I think it was Grimm fairy tales like 67, 68. That's when we introduced to like the Limbo Queen and Jack. And then also Grimm fairy tales Bad Girls. We get the Limbo Queen as one of the main antagonists in that story. And that's around the last time we see her. So this was kind of taking place like afterwards.
I love Bad Girls. That was one of the last stories I read before moving away from the office.
Huh?
Bad Girls.
Bad Girls. Very, very name kind of, it's mysterious. You don't know what it's about. It could be about
So with our Myth and Legend stories that are quarterlies, these are obviously longer stories because they're full stories. So you're getting a 72-pager, right, for this?
Yeah, the quarterlies are 72 pages. Yeah, so you're basically getting a full, almost like a graphic novel in one setting. So we try to give you a beginning, middle, and end, and then also tie it into the overall Grimm universe, especially for anything that's Grimm Universe quarterly, Myths and Legends quarterly. And then the Tales of Terror quarterly, they're pretty much, they're in the Grimm universe, but they're in their own separate like pocket dimension.
Okay, well, that's what we are talking about. The first issue, again, Myth and Legends, Jack and Jill. Casey, do you have any closing notes on Jack and Jill?
Looks good.
Have you read it yet, Casey? You got a quiz.
I'm sorry. I thought I would like pop on and then do the confetti, and that was my whole role here today.
Wow. So I won't have you deep dive into Grimm Fairy Tales number 58 then either.
I'll tell you what my favorite cover is.
Okay, we'll keep on Casey for the favorite cover. Okay. Now, today's second release is Grimm Fairy Tales number 58, written by our own Dave Franchini. I don't know who that dude is, but it's clearly not this guy. As always, Grimm Fairy Tales is $3.99. It is an ongoing storyline. You will basically get a new Grimm Fairy Tales almost every single month, I feel like.
Plan.
That's the plan. Maybe it doesn't always happen the way with the publishing schedule, but that is the plan.
No, I mean, yeah, right now we've been ever since the pandemic and everything. Like we've been kind of like it screwed up our schedule a little bit, but we're getting back to where you're not going to see many things push past where they're supposed to be. But yeah, Grimm's the one book that's been continuous. Now I'm probably jinxing myself, and then the printing press will blow up, and we'll have a delay for whatever. But now, yeah, Grimm's monthly.
So here are our 4 covers for Grimm Fairy Tales number 58. Here is cover A.
Lovely.
Very vibrant. This pirate-esque outfit that's being worn.
Well, a little steampunkish, a little steampunk, a little hints to things to come.
Here is cover B. I always love like the really bright color usage on Grimm Fairy Tales. Here is cover C. And here is cover D. As always, in the comments, tell me which is your favorite cover. And Dave, which is your favorite cover?
I feel like you're always just trying to catch me off guard. Like if you just ask me real quick, you should ask like 4 questions in there and like slide in at the end.
There should be a TikTok of like me going into Dave's office, but like it's like recording, but we don't let Dave know. And I like shut the door and I'm like, Dave, you can tell me in secrecy.
It's one of those undercover cameras. It's all shaky and blurry, and then you'll still never get the answer. I can't even tell you then. No, I mean, it's good. Like they're all awesome. Like so, I can't. Again, I love them all.
He's got no purpose. Well,
I
okay.
wouldn't book the artist. We wouldn't publish them and print them if I didn't like all of them.
Didn't like all of them. Well, here is our synopsis. Casey, before I go into the synopsis, what is your favorite cover?
This one's actually tough because I do really like the colors of B.
Yeah.
And I actually had no idea that this was Keith Garvey. It seemed different from his style.
Besides his stance, he's like a lot of his characters have like this stance.
Mm-hmm. Maybe because he doesn't usually do like the full body far away. Maybe that's why. But I really like that one. And of course, I always love Ivan. So I guess I'll go with cover D.
Wow, another cover D. I was looking at some of the previews covers really fast for Ivan, and I really like the one, and you'll probably see a tweet about it in 2 days of Oz with the rain and saying April showers bring, and then in May there'll be a tweet that's like bring May flowers, and I'll probably use like a fairy tale cover or something.
Well, we got a lot of Ivan covers coming up. I just got a new one in yesterday. But yeah, we're gonna keep using Ivan for as long as they'll keep letting us use him. He's awesome.
For you guys that don't know, Ivan's incredible Invisible Woman cover was chosen as the award winner at the Zennies for best non-collectible cover.
No one was slapped.
No. Here is the synopsis of Grimm Fairy Tales number 58. Sky Mathers, along with Julia, the Queen of Hearts, has been making her way back home to her world, one universal leap at a time. Hold on. Does this synopsis sound right?
I don't remember.
I was like, I don't know if this one's right. Could be right. Well, I'll wait, actually, you know what? I don't think it's right.
Well, basically, at the end of the last issue, they get separated and pulled into different universes. And now we're going to see what happens after that. Or we'll just watch Amber struggle.
I'm not struggling. I just reread Grimm Fairy Tales number 58. The synopsis could be right, and I just could be double checking, but I don't. Yeah. Okay. Taking over the death of her mother, Seela, Sky is the new guardian of the Nexus, which we always have as the opening of almost all of our Grimm Fairy Tales. With help of Shang, her mentor, and her friends at Arcane Acre, she is learning the extent of her new powers and trying to figure out her place in protecting the universe.
Are you reading this?
Yes.
Those are the same for the story arc. You're right. I think you're reading the right one the first time.
That's why I was screwed up, because I was like, "Is this the one that I read in the story?"
Yeah, we try to keep the same story in the beginning for the arc, so that way people kind of get the gist of what the arc is. But I think you're reading the.
Now I learned something. Well, now I can go back to reading my original synopsis. Everyone, just cut out the last 2 minutes. They've not happened. Moving forward, Sky Mathers, along with Julia, the Queen of Hearts, has been making her way back to her home world, one universal leap at a time. But her journey has just taken a seriously wrong turn, separating her from her partner and new surroundings. Sky finds herself could signal dire consequences for the future she is hurtling towards. What horrible truths lie in this place? Who is the keeper? And where is Julia? Don't miss this all-new chapter in Sky's adventure, sure to answer many questions and create some new ones as well.
That was the right one. That was it.
That reminds me a lot of, did you ever watch Prometheus?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like a trailer that came out before Prometheus. It was like, it will answer all of your questions. And then I left the movie and I was like, this didn't answer any of my questions. I have 50 more questions.
It's like, oh, cool. It definitely wasn't going to be about aliens, but it was about aliens.
I know. Ridley Scott, there we go. Ridley Scott said, and I quote, "This movie has nothing to do with Alien." And then the last 5 minutes, spoiler, Alien comes on the screen. And then the next movie was called Alien Covenant. So there was everything to do with, I'm reading Raven's comments right now. I'm like, what is happening?
Well, I was reading Chuck's earlier about the accident. There's a turtle in Jack and Jill. And I'm basically Chuck. I've been hiding a turtle in every book that we do. You have to buy each one, take a picture of it, and send it to us when you find it. That's the best way we can do it. I'd be messed up if we actually did that, but
I'm sorry, Raven.
I was like, I'm laughing. Anyway, Casey, do you have any pending questions, or would you like to return to your backstageness, which I know you were excited to return to?
I guess is this toward the end of this story arc, or
yeah? So
I know there's another one coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, each GRIMM arc, we've been doing them in like 12 issue increments. So like they're giant. It's like a giant maxi story arc. So this one is going to end in Grimm Fairy Tales 62 and the Grimm Fairy Tales 2022 annual. So like this giant, this universe hopping, this craziness is going to end in those two issues. So we're getting close to it, and we're getting a little more answers. Like this one kind of tries to help answer, not directly, but give you a little bit of answers on what the red gems are. There's like, they're basically kind of like these heart gems of these universes, and each universe has one. So like it's kind of giving you a little hint of what's going on there. And I don't want to give away like the characters in this one, but then you kind of get to see a different take on one of our main characters, and so I don't want to spoil it.
Sorry, I'm reading Raven's comments.
I know Raven's. I don't know what's happening with Raven right now. Raven is he's doing his stand-up act. Anyway, Casey, you are free. You asked your question. Thank you for hopping on the 1-year anniversary of NCW. NCW. Like, why do I keep saying NCW stream?
I say one thing.
Yes.
Last time Dave was on, I put they're supposed to be swords.
I assume,
and they kind of look like. Apparently, someone said they look like scissors
or syringes.
And they do kind of look like scissors, and I acknowledge that.
Yeah, it popped up when I joined. They were already on there, so I just left it.
Sometimes I throw on emojis to Amber, Ralph. I think Ralph still has like sparkles or something. It's very exciting. All right. Bye, everyone.
Casey is free from the stream. She's been pulled off, but Dave is still trapped here in my NCW. Why do I think it's because I've watched so much March Madness lately, and like St. Peter's was going on that crazy run, but now I'm just saying NCAA all the time. Okay. Let's talk about the book, shall we? I have lots of questions. The first one is we've been dropped in a new place, so where are we now?
On death's doorstep, as it says on the cover.
Okay.
We're basically we start off. We're going to start off in a world where no one is alive. It's a dead world. It's a world of like basically what would happen if something ended the entire world, and the only person on it is Sky, and maybe other things.
This stop is very dark. And it is a dark vision. Do you feel like your vision of this dark place was executed the way you wanted it to? Like this, like no man's land, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, like Babasu and Hore's colors really brought it out to where it was supposed to be like this. You feel like gloomy and you feel like off. And then Babasu hit exactly what I was looking for, especially when you see later with the school bus and the tar, all this other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I hope it hit the feeling that everybody was supposed to get. And it's just like, it's big. There's a lot of big shots. So it should feel like empty when you keep seeing, I guess, like just Sky walking through it.
So this stop is pretty fast. It's not to spoil it, but we're kind of on to the next. So it was like a pit stop. How dire was just having this storyline in the ongoing story arc of Sky right now?
It was more just to kind of show like what's the worst possibility of a universe that Sky could go to. And basically it also gives her a little bit of like kind of hints at what could happen to her universe, like our universe, if she's not there to stop it or there to prevent what's going to happen. So it was kind of just like a foreshadowing. And then also like I can't tell you a lot without spoiling what like plans. But some of the stuff we see won't be the last time we see this.
So she's not the only story arc that we're following. There's another group, or maybe groups out there. Who are they and where are they? Or do you not want to reveal that?
Well, I'll tell you where Shang, Samantha, and Alexa are. They're in our version of Oz. But yeah, I have to flip through the book because some of the when you start writing the issues, like they all kind of,
and especially when you are writing so many different like hops that are happening so fast.
Yeah, so it's they're in Oz, and they're basically trying to find a way to bring Sky back. And we learned earlier in an earlier issue, it's because Baba Yaga kind of gave them the way to do it. And then this is going to be them trying to get the last thing they need to bring Sky back. And of course, there's always going to be maybe something in the way.
Dave is very ominous when he comes on NCW. He's like, I don't know, maybe this is making an appearance. Maybe this is happening.
I don't know. I don't want to be like, hey, here's the whole story. Don't buy the book. I'll just read it to you. And
what if we had an NCW where we literally just shot for shot, like put up every page and just read it?
I mean, we kind of do that with the what is it?
Comic book theater. Yeah. What if we did it with a new release and we're like, you guys don't have to worry about buying it. Or
you don't have to buy it. We're just gonna
maybe they'll want to buy it more because they'll be like, oh, if I buy it, it's like we went through this like memory together, right?
I don't know. I think they might be like, all right, I got that story. All right, let's on to the next one. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Read us another one, please. I think that might be more it.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, something.
We'll do it next week. We'll do it tonight. We'll do the Jack and Jill 72 pages. And we got
why stop there? Let's do
the omnibus, maybe.
I was gonna say Grimm Fairy Tales Odyssey is coming out very, very soon. Let's just read the entire double-sized graphic novel.
Yeah, it's only 400 pages. Like we got time. We have time. I think we can do it. You guys good? Everybody good? Everybody quit their job today?
So just like a fun side note for today. So Fan Expo Philly will be taking place next weekend. It will be April 8th through the 10th. Right. Dave will be making an appearance on Saturday. And I know that Grimm Fairy Tales number 58 is the story for, I believe, at least one of our collectible covers. It is the Elias Chedzudas one. So if you guys go and you go to Fan Expo Philly this upcoming weekend.
4 of them.
So you're going to want to make sure that if you buy a collectible, if you ever wanted it signed, Dave will be there. He writes Grimm Fairy. He could sign anything, but maybe, Grimm Fairy Tales holds that special place in your heart.
I'll sign whatever you guys bring.
And that won't be your only opportunity to see Dave. He will be taking over NCW. Every Wednesday.
That sounds like a threat. You're like, that'll be the last time you ever see Dave because
this will be the only time you see Dave. You'll also see Dave at our VIP Vegas event, which is taking place in less than 1 month. I think we're like 3.5 weeks away.
Yeah, these days are flying by. It's crazy.
It is. It really, really is. But the first opportunity, if you guys live in Philly, make sure that you head by the Fan Expo Philly booth where you can hang out with Dave. And on Saturday, and Casey will be there, and Noah will be there, and Jason will be there. I unfortunately will not be there, but I will be at the VIP Vegas event happening later the month.
You won't go to Philly, but you'll go to Vegas. That's very strange.
I don't know what you're talking about. You guys are gonna have the best time ever. Anyway, what was your favorite memory ever that you had on NCW for the 1 year anniversary?
That time I told you my favorite cover.
I almost spit out my water, so I'm really glad I swallowed it.
That's probably where my heart lies. I don't know. I mean, every time I like watching it. I like checking it out. I mean, that's the thing is like I watch them, so like just to kind of make sure nobody's spoiling anything, but also to like just I was like watching it. So like I mean, all of them, all the year of New Comic Wednesday. I like just like the covers. I love all of the episodes and all of the memories. It's very.
I have to say that Dave's favorite memories in NCW, he just doesn't remember, are all the times where I accidentally share misinformation and Dave, it goes on in the background and goes, I'm like, oh, whoops. Okay, well, thank you so much, Dave. It was great having you on.
Hopefully another year. See you then.
See, we'll be on NCW Volume 2, number 58.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right. Thanks.
Bye. So again, that was our writer and publisher, Dave Franchini, who sits in the background of all of my NCWs now. He only sits in the background of the ones that he's a guest on and then shakes his head no if I ever get anything wrong. And he really puts me in check, so I appreciate that. But again, today, the 1 year anniversary of NCW, if you guys could put in the comments, what was your favorite NCW memory? Like, what did you like the most? I feel we're going to go on a reminiscing rant really fast. So before we go into full recap mode, some of my favorite NCWs. I loved the NCW that I did with Jenna. I love all the ones I do with Jenna. She is a fantastic, fantastic guest to have on, especially the first one, because I didn't know how much we were going to love, getting to interview each other, and everybody was laughing because my hair and her hair was exactly the same. So go back and rewatch some of the Jenna Lynn Wright interviews where we talk about Blood Pharaoh, the one that we talked about last week with Jack and Jill. We dive into the holiday special. She wrote Patchwork Girl, which almost released about a year ago. And it was one of my favorite reads of last year. Fantastic. Another couple of my favorite NCWs are, I loved when Chris was on here, Chris Slamson. We had such a good time. He was there for the first one. And then every so often he would plug in or he'd be a guest to help me out. Chris had really good energy and he had really good questions. He was very excited to interview all of the writers. And then I'm trying to think, I loved the NCW where, I don't remember who it was. Was it Ralph? I think it was Ralph. And did the broadcast in the middle of NCW. And then I had to hop on really fast and be like, hey, everybody, there's a part 2 because I was cut off. And that's cool. And I had Joe on that entire episode where he dove in very deeply about our subscription program. So if you guys don't know about our subscription program, you can get rewards for everything that you subscribe to and our subscription programs with our comics. So make sure that you go back and you rewatch the subscription stream. That one happened just a couple of weeks ago, very, very recently, when it was a no release Wednesday. We've had 2 of those recently. I love, Aaron, I just have to laugh. This is, yes. I love when Ralph seems, I tease him too much, but I think my favorite ever episode of NCW was the episode of Tales of Terror game night where I had Ralph on. That was actually one of the first times I met Ralph in person, and he came on the show and we put the lights out and it was just a funny episode because we had never really hosted before. And Ralph's just a fantastic host, and he would do a fantastic job if he ever took over NCW. But the exciting news is that this will not be my last NCW. I will keep being the NCW host. If there are Wednesdays that I can't make it, I will have interim hosts. I know Casey's been my interim host once. I've had Chris Sampson, as I said, as my intern host. I think Ralph stepped in before. So there will be other opportunities to hang out with different staff members. But yeah, just make sure that NCW, you keep it alive. I keep being your host, unless you don't want me to be your host anymore. Maybe everybody seems to really want Ralph as the host. So maybe we'll just make NCW Ralph. It'll be New Comic Wednesday. It'll be new NRW, New Release Wednesday, also known as New Ralph Wednesday. I don't know, but I will have to have more hosts come on in the future. Okay, full recap mode. So we had 2 releases come out today. Our first release was Myth and Legends Jack and Jill, which is $8.99 in our web store right now. We had 3 fantastic covers. Casey, if you want to pop them up really fast, I keep talking, please do that. If you want to learn a little bit more about Jack and Jill, you can go and rewatch last week's NCW where I had writer Jenna Lynn Wright come on because she was unable to meet today. So that was our first release, $8.99 in our web store right now. Our second release today, we just had our writer and publisher Dave Franchini come on. He wrote Grimm Fairy Tales number 58, which is the ongoing jump to different story arc dimensions. where we're going, Sky's going from place to place to place. So here are the lovely 4 covers that Casey is going to hop through really, really fast. And I hope we get to have Dave on very, very soon. So, yeah, here are our 2 new releases. Next week's releases, I believe we have a handful. Okay, it's going to be a big release Wednesday because we went from having a no release Wednesday to a very, very big release Wednesday. So we have a couple of new releases. I know we're going to have War of Giants, which we talked about earlier today. Spotlight Mystere Divinity. And I don't want to say anything about Mystere, but I will say that maybe, I don't know, Grimm Fairy Tales number 58, maybe released today. I don't know. Maybe Mystere. I don't know. That's all I'll say about it. Okay. And then Van Helsing, Hour of the Witch, our Van Helsing annual. So we will have 3 very big releases for next Wednesday. So make sure that you join us because it will be a long edition of NCW as always. This week's NCW collectible cover winner is, I don't like to say it before Casey has the banner up. There we go. Emma Walsh, congratulations. Her favorite trilogy was the Wonderland graphic novel trilogy. Congratulations, Emma. You will get the showcase version of the incredible Sun Kumanagi Van Helsing cover that is on sale and is only on sale for 2 more days. Okay, whatever doesn't sell gets destroyed. You can head to the web store right now. It's $20. Go get this cover. It is a hot, hot, hot cover. You do not want to sit on this and wait. Sit on it like she's sitting on a coffin. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. So next week's stipulations, aka this week's stipulations for next week's winner are you have to comment your favorite covers. No pulling a Dave. That's right. You can't say you like them all. Or I guess maybe you could, but specifically put out there which covers you like the best. And then you will be able to receive that. I will throw out this stipulation that's happening in 2 weeks, not this week, in 2 weeks. I will give you guys a preview for the next NCW. But if you are the first person to come by our booth at Fan Expo Philly, booth 301, and say, I'm here for the NCW collectible cover, you will get the showcase version of that cover. We'll only be giving away 1, but that will be 2 weeks from now stipulation. So if you're planning on going to Fan Expo Philly, get there on Friday. Try to be as early as possible because I know that cover will be gone on Friday. So yeah, so that will be the showcase cover that you will be getting from, I believe we'll still be in, well, now I guess we will be in April. This is already March 30th. So we'll be unveiling the new NCW cover next week, which will be awesome. But I'm excited for that. Other stuff that's going on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Hang out with our movie club crew for our 3rd movie club of the year, Species. And it will be the latest Sun Kumanagi cover that you can get in the web store as immediately as it goes live. And it also has a subscription program. So if you don't want to miss any NCW, I said NCW, if you don't want to miss any movie club covers, make sure that you subscribe to the movie club subscription so you don't miss any Sun covers. Speaking of Sun and all of the guests that I mentioned before, our VIP event is taking place in 1 month. It is less than 1 month. We are like weeks away. If you haven't booked your tickets and you want to go, book your tickets now. If you haven't booked your flight, book your flight now. Coordinate your travel. Figure out all of that stuff. Make sure that you are there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Dave's going to be there. David, Wall, Ralph, Joe, they're doing actually a separate signing before the event, the day before, for a very special edition of our retailer live stream, which will instead be that Friday. We will be doing a nighttime version of that. That will be at Fandomverse in Vegas. So if you're there, you'll be able to get free signings of our covers. So they'll be out free signing that Friday. And then Saturday, they'll be there with all of our elated guests. As I mentioned before, Nei, Keith, Ebas. It's going to be fantastic, fantastic weekend. Every Monday, you can hang out with Coffee with Casey and Noah at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then our next VCon is taking place in a couple of weeks. It's April 13th. So very, very soon. Coming up, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's Fairy Tale Con. I can't wait to see some of the fun costumes that will be there. We are also doing our ongoing Easter egg hunt program. I'm going to actually bring Casey on the screen to talk a little bit more about that. So I'm giving her the heads up instead of popping her on. She's giving me a smile. Tell us what's going on with this Easter egg hunt.
All right. So basically, we're going to have scratch off tickets, I believe, in every order. And there's going to be one big grand prize, which is actually going to be a collectible coin, which is 24 karat gold. Alongside with, if you are into digital collecting, you're going to get I don't know the value, but a very high value NFT as well. But there's so many other prizes as well. There's metal covers. There's just coupons, free graphic novels, free comics. I think the lowest thing you can get is a free comic. So why not? Why not buy from the web store?
So what we're saying is right now, go to the web store, buy that NCW collectible cover if you haven't got it, that Sun Kumanaki Van Helsing cover, and then you'll get a scratch off with it. And this promotion will go through Easter, right? Or is it the entire month?
It's actually a little later. I believe it starts in April. So next NCW cover.
Next NCW cover. So I just wanted to give a teaser. I also wanted to give another teaser about Kickstarter that will be launching soon. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. So our Kickstarter is going to be a trading card set, GRIMM Universe Series 1, I believe is the name. It's coming soon. I can drop the link when I get the chance to basically it's just our pre-launch page. Just sign up for any emails that you're going to want to get and make sure you sign up. I know a lot of people had trouble with Indiegogo, so we're back to Kickstarter, a fan favorite, and it'll be really exciting.
So our next Kickstarter will be launching very, very soon.
Mm-hmm. In April.
In April.
Believes the 7th, but sign up for the updates so you can make sure in case I'm wrong.
The last thing I'll say is that, again, we'll be at Fan Expo Philly, April 8th through the 10th. You can't miss us. We'll be at the front of the show. But if you're a VIP, that every VIP that comes will be able to get your collectible VIP swag bag that you'll get every time you come to a booth. If you have a passport and you bought a passport book, you'll be able to take it to the show. We'll give you the sticker for the latest passport for coming to Philadelphia. Yeah, we got a last minute booth change, so it's really 301, even though the graphic says 306. There is no 306 on the show floor. So if you look for 306, we'll be in that space that would have existed. So you'd still stumble upon us. But so make sure that you come and you see us. If you're a VIP, tell us that you're a VIP so then we can give you your cool bag. There'll be some cool swag inside of it. But yeah, that's it. Is there anything else I'm missing that we should really recap?
Well, let's see. We always have Zenescope Black. Always a good thing to sign up for if
unlimited
you buy a lot.
Shipping all the time, $199, $399 international. If you don't have it and you buy from us, I don't know what you're doing because you'll save a lot of money.
We have the passport just in time for our first actual in-person event. You can get a sticker there, and you can always get a sticker at any of our VCons.
And if you haven't bought a passport from the web store, it will be on sale at our booth as well. Just $20 to commemorate all of the time that you spend with me on NCW. No, to commemorate all of the VCons that you attend and all the in-person events that you'll see us at. Cool. Okay, that is it. This has been Amber and Casey and Dave with NCW. We're signing off. We're celebrating 1 year of NCW, 1 year of talking about Zenescope's newest releases. And that would be the publisher where you come for the covers, but you stay for the stories. I will see everybody. Party out. Great times. Thanks for joining us for 1 year. We couldn't have done it without you, viewers. We love you. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.